Lisa.
I hear we have a new intro song, demo version. You want to play that for us?
Yes, I do. It's only kind of news, but it's our kind of news, and it's my kind of news podcast. It's my kind of news podcast. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is my kind of news. Welcome.
Woo!
This is our first attempt at making a podcast. We've been working through some technical issues, figuring out how to get all of our equipment set up, but I am very excited. Feeling good. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think that the prospects look good for us for today. We are setting sail on this journey of podcasting, my kind of news. I'm excited for it.
Stoked, thrilled, just totally enamored with this process and getting to do this project with you and share it with other people. People have been excited hearing that we're going to do this, so we figured we better actually do it. So here we are. We're doing the thing.
Going from 0 to 1.
Creating momentum. It's all going to get better from here. So join us today. Hey, we're going to start by introducing each other.
Yes, I would love to tell people who you are because I know who you are, and you are one of the most incredible humans on the face of this planet. You have knowledge in so many areas based on your years of research and study. Some of those areas include aerospace, neuroscience, Reiki master. You're a Reiki master of 20 years. You're a playwright, a mom, and a preschool teacher. Wow. You are so multifaceted, and I love looking at your sparkle.
Thanks for the bling. You're looking amazing yourself. And I couldn't be more thrilled to be joining such an extraordinary talent such as yourself. In addition to being a tech whiz, getting all this up and going, making sure it sounds and looks good, she's the master behind the scenes. Wow, you help other people do that. You help them edit their videos and create family memories. You're a poet. You are a pianist. You are a music writer and teacher. You teach piano. In addition to your extraordinary other artistic skills, such as resin art, did you make those earrings?
You know, I made these earrings. These are my little.
Are they available on Etsy yet?
Not yet, but they will be. These are fresh off the block. So just testing them out.
Always new ones. Always new ones. What is your, how can we find those on Etsy?
You can go to Etsy and you can search Lolo Unicorn, and a menagerie of treasures and trinkets will show up for you, earrings included. What else are you going to find?
Hey, Lolo Unicorn, Lolo Unicorn, Lolo Unicorn on Etsy. Well, it sounds like we have quite a lot going on for us fabulous humans. I'm checking in today from Portland, Oregon. Where are you today?
I am sitting in Los Angeles, California today.
Amazing. That's important because we are also planning to take this show on the road. Yes. So sometimes you will see us in separate places, far away. And sometimes we'll get to be together on the road, taking this show to some super fun destinations, meeting some awesome people, and including their perspective in our kind of news. My kind of news.
My kind of news. Should we share some of the people who we hope to discuss and talk about on our podcast?
So we made an initial list of people that we have been researching and really learning a lot from over the past couple of years. Lauren and I have both been through some pretty major life-changing events, which we'll talk about as we go, that it really led us to the need to reevaluate our skill set in dealing with challenges. So we looked out into the world and said, we need to find a better way because these emotions are really big and this is a big challenge. And people have been through big challenges before and they've dealt with them in positive or less positive ways. So let's get together and find the most positive way that we can to work through these big challenges. And then they worked really well. And we found out so much good information that we wanted to share it with other people and hope that it would be helpful to them too. All right, Lauren, share our list. These are just the initial list.
I want to add, though, that one of the reasons that we want to share is because we've been having so much fun in the process doing this work. And it's just brought so much fun and joy into our lives. And I'm so excited to have more fun doing this podcast with you.
I agree. And I would say that that's one of the overarching themes that we've run into again and again is that the more positive a headspace you can get into, the more fun you are having, the more fun and joy you will attract into your life. And so just being able to get into a better headspace already has all kinds of benefits. So a lot of these are tools of how to get into a better headspace. Wouldn't you say?
I would have to agree with that. I would have to resoundingly agree. And I would like to share also I don't know, would you call it a mission statement that we came up with? Yeah,
our guiding principle we wanted to start out with. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I got us all excited to share the names, but I also want to share
we'll get there.
This mission statement that we so brilliantly crafted. So my kind of news is here to combine ancient wisdom with cutting edge science to find our best path forward in these new times in order to support you in manifesting your best life. Because we're living our best lives.
Yes, we are.
I'd have to say. Okay, so a couple of the people who we've learned from, some of our favorite teachers and work we're inspired by, Joe Dispenza, Dr. Shefali, Dr. Andrew Huberman, Byron Katie, Abraham, Alan Watts, Marissa Peer, Anna Bay, Lewis House, Tom and Lisa Bilyeu, Gabor Mate, Aubrey Marcus, Gabby Bernstein, Marie Forleo, Peter Crone, David Sinclair, Brene Brown, Wim Hof, Rhonda Patrick, Glennon Doyle, Vanessa Van Edwards, Elizabeth Gilbert, Simon Sinek, Jordan Peterson, Jamie Wheel, John Gray, John Kabat-Zinn, Aubrey Marcus, Dr. Caroline Leaf, Dave Asprey, Chris Voss, Eckhart Tolle, Dale Carnegie, Robert Greene, the Dalai Lama, David Goggins, David Manuel Lewis, Tim Ferriss, and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
And of course, Oprah.
Of course.
Thank you so much. What an incredible list. I cannot wait to talk about all these people. There is so much good information, incredible knowledge, such wisdom that have come through these people into our world, and we want to highlight their key ideas and their best practices for putting these key ideas into practice in your life today. Next time you hit a wall, next time you get in a tough situation, I want you to think of it as, yes, an opportunity to apply these skills I'm learning. Here's my chance to grow. Put it into action. You can meditate all you want when everything's peaceful, but when things get crazy, can you bring that peace into that moment? So skills for bringing peace into tough moments. And these guys have some great suggestions. I'm so excited.
I love what you said so much. I'm going to write that down. Let's say it again. Skills for bringing peace into the present moment. Because you can meditate all you want when it's calm.
That's right. It's can you apply it when things get tough? And I think a lot of us have had a lot of opportunities to find that out over the past year plus as we've been going through this crazy pandemic where normal doesn't apply anymore. And we're constantly figuring out the new normal. It's always changing. Restrictions, fewer restrictions, more restrictions, warnings. Just trying to figure out how to process all of that is pretty overwhelming. And I think a lot of people realized when they got thrown out of their routines that maybe they didn't have the skills to adapt. It was harder for them than they expected. I think a lot of people thrived and found a lot of great new ways of being in the world. But I think it's been a huge challenge for all of us in some way, where we have had to draw on skills, draw on those meditative practices, really get back to basics of self-care in order to adapt. But we also have to remember that the number one thing that has allowed humans to thrive on this planet and to live in every single ecosystem is our ability to adapt. We are master adapters, which means that we can take on any of these situations. We just need to figure out some useful tools and get a good team together. It's really important to create community because we are tribal beings and we're not meant to be alone. We're not supposed to do this by ourselves. We're supposed to be in it together. So you've got to find your Lauren, because I found mine and I'll share her with you. But I highly recommend that you find your person that is there to support you no matter what. I got your back. I'm here for you and I love you. So for today, I'd like to be that person. And I bet Lauren would like to join me in being your person to say, we love you. We got your back. You got this. You can do it. And we're going to share some ideas to maybe, hopefully make it a little bit easier to find your way through.
Woo! Well said. Well said, Eliza. Couldn't have said it better myself. And I do want to be that person with you.
Thanks. Thanks. I want to be that person with you. Better together. Yay. We do like to have fun and we love learning new things. We are always watching when the new videos come out on YouTube, when new podcasts come out, new articles showing us that research is being done that's discovered something new and exciting, which so often the new research is validating ancient wisdom. All these ancient techniques that people wrote off for a long time in the name of it not being modern science or it's not validated. Now we're able to do the research and figure out why those techniques were actually useful. They were around for thousands of years for a really good reason, because they were effective.
I have a question. Yes. Can you give us an example of one of these ancient techniques that is being validated by science?
That is so fantastic. There's actually a lot of research being done on like acupuncture, acupressure, and Reiki, which I've been a practitioner of for quite a long time. I was introduced to it when I was 18 and by a host family when I was living abroad, and we'll tell that fabulous story another time. And I have been so excited by it, and I found it to be so incredibly effective. But as a scientist, with a scientific background, I've always struggled with validation and with having evidence and research to support it because it seemed so abstract. And now we are actually able to measure how we're able to affect each other's energetic fields, which we can also see and measure. We are electromagnetic beings as much as chemical beings, and that we actually have so much more interaction energetically than we realize. We are so influenced by our environment, and we're finally able to start measuring these things. So it's very exciting. It's a very exciting time. The advent of the fMRI machine, functional magnetic neural imaging, has been an extraordinary tool in measuring what's going on in our brain in real time. So we're going to talk about some fun studies with that too. Yes, Lolo.
Thank you. I know what Reiki is, but I was hoping you could give a quick definition of what Reiki is, just in case there is someone who doesn't know.
I'm so glad you asked. Well, thank you. Reiki is a system that was developed in Japan.
I actually don't know that I even know the correct definition of Reiki, so I don't want to assume that I know. I'm excited for you to share with me too what the definition is.
Well, I think it's an evolving definition. So that's a very reasonable feeling to not really know, because I think we don't have a full picture of how these energetic systems work. We have a lot of anecdotal evidence, but there seems to be changes beyond just the placebo effect where you're able to make changes within yourself, or it's fully utilizing the placebo effect by energizing it in some way, some positive way that we are really learning about. So the idea is that there's this energetic system that we are able to influence. We are able to influence all of our systems in our body, chemically, physically, neurologically. All these systems can be affected through our electromagnetic fields, through these energy fields that we have. And that just by touching someone or by intending it, because it can also be done at a distance, which really blows my mind. But we have great evidence now showing that something is really happening. And from my personal experience, I have both benefited from and sent out, and others have benefited from distance Reiki. So it's a healing system. And the idea is that you are raising the vibration, the energetic vibration around someone and within someone that allows them to have extra energy to make change. That change can be to release, it can be to heal, it can be to build up, to refill. All of these are ways of utilizing that energy. But when you're in a lower vibration, when you are in a lower energy field around you, when you're contracted, it's very hard to make change. You're really in survival mode. And change doesn't happen, healing doesn't happen in survival mode. And so you have to find a way to talk your body out of that survival mode, to open up, to get into those more elevated emotions, energetically rising up, and then your body says it's safe to heal, it's safe to change, it's safe to grow. And so I think that's a big piece of it.
Wow, that was beautifully put. Thank you. Beautifully put. That opened up some expansive feelings for me on what Reiki is. So
it's something I'm always exploring. So I'm
and
really excited to talk about it.
You didn't prep that answer. You didn't know I was going to ask that question.
No. No, but I'm really grateful that being on the speech and debate team in high school is paying off, I hope.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
I was on the speech and debate team too. Did you know that?
Well, that's why I chose you as my partner. All the excellent training.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So that's a fun way of entering into this healing realm. And lots of other people have lots of other great ideas about how to get into a more positive space, Reiki being one, meditation being another, massage, acupressure, acupuncture, what?
Breath work.
Breath work. Tons of breath work. Heat, cold, anything that can change your state. Fasting, what you eat, when you eat. And we're going to talk about some really fun research in terms of longevity that we've been learning about and trying to apply in our own lives. So we recently had the extraordinary opportunity to go to Kauai for 2.5 weeks together with a few of our favorite people. And we really, really invested in ourselves in terms of relaxation, refilling, kind of building up our motivation and getting ready to start new things. And during this time, we also ate really, really well. We ate really well. And when we came back, frequently, passionately.
A lot of shave ice, poke, pork, a lot of Kahlua pork.
Lots of good food was enjoyed by all of us. And when we came back, we could feel it. I had a bit of a Buddha belly going.
Yes. And I just didn't feel good. I had like a pain. I just felt like constantly bloated.
Yeah, I felt super bloated. I felt just not really in control of my gut. I just felt like I wanted to eat all the time. I wasn't really satisfied. I was into a lot of like sugar, and it was just, it had shifted my metabolism, and I could tell even after that short of a time, which I thoroughly enjoyed every bite. Don't get me wrong. I regret zero, but I was ready to get back on track. So Lauren and I, right? Yeah. We have been learning about a technique of like intermittent fasting. So you decide when in a day you eat. And so it's about having eating times and not eating times. with the concept being that you need the fuel, but that it's really expensive for your body energetically to process all that fuel and turn it into energy. And so when you give yourself a break from eating, and your body can focus on digesting everything, and then it can focus on taking that energy and putting it into repair. And that is a huge piece that so many of us are never in that repair mode, or we're in that repair mode for like just when we're sleeping. And research is showing that if you extend that a little bit, that it can have huge benefits for your system. And so the way that we decided to try was pretty simple: 3-day, 1 meal a day reset. It's called OMAD, one meal a day. Yeah.
OMAD. I love the name.
OMAD. Don't get mad. It's OMAD. 1 meal a day. And the idea is that you're basically fasting for 23 hours and spending 1 hour fully indulging, trying to eat healthy food, trying not to have a lot of sugar, processed foods, things like that, but eating lots of vegetables, good proteins, healthy starches, and just feeling really full and satisfied at the end. So there's not a feeling of deprivation during that time. So you go to bed, you have a few hours before bed, and then you can sleep really well and go through your day. And we can talk about what counts as not breaking it. You can have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee, as long as you don't put sweetener, put a tiny splash of cream in there just to, get it going, but not so much that it breaks your fast. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite people doing fasting research soon. My point is, after those 3 days, I felt so much better. I really felt like I had much more of a control of my appetite, and I felt like I was just calmer in my stomach. A lot of the bloating went down too, like really quickly.
I'd have to agree. I definitely felt better after that 3-day OMAD reset. And speaking of food, you gave me another food tip today, bone broth.
Yeah.
Yes, you gave it to me earlier and you were like, bone broth. I have it.
You do, right there?
This is what I was going to show you.
Oh my gosh, you're so on it.
Well, so here's my question.
Organic.
You
hang out a lot.
Yeah.
Organic is important because you're pulling out those deep nutrients. You don't want to pull out extra chemicals too. There's a lot of different bone broths, but I'm really fond of the beef. Super easy. Anything savory that you'd add water to, you can throw in some bone broth or half bone broth. I don't think it tastes great on its own, but it's incredible. It makes any dish richer, and it has a ton of awesome stuff in it. Great collagen. Lauren, what can you tell me about collagen's benefits?
Well, collagen has many benefits. It's a naturally occurring substance in our body that deteriorates as we age. We don't produce as much of it as we age. So that's why we're adding it back in through bone broth and other ways. There are multiple ways to add collagen back into your body. I'm focusing on bone broth today because Aliza gave me this tip of you can just throw it even on a salad. Just cut the thing off, put a little on a salad. So I did. She said cut the corner off. But here's my question. I cut the corner off and I don't know if I did it right because it was kind of spilling. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta make it into a little doodah. So you got a little point there.
Okay.
Make a little spot. So it also is super helpful in addition to your skin, keep your skin looking young and fresh. It is great for joints and all of those internal ligaments. So if you have any aches and pains, things coming up, try a little collagen, see if it helps. We have had amazing results. Lolo, do you have another way that people can get collagen into their diet?
So yes, I do. The answer is yes, a fabulous way. my mom told me about this, which her hairdresser told her about. And it's a product called Liquid Biocell, and it's made by a company called Modere. And they have the patent on this collagen HA matrix technology. And more about that later. But what I do know is that after 10 months of my mom not changing anything about her diet, but this, she started it for her wrinkles. She wanted to fill out her wrinkles and have glowier skin. So she started it without even thinking about how it would improve her joint pain, which she was having lower back joint pain, arthritis in her lower back every morning when she would wake up. It's completely reduced that to nil. And she's feeling so great because she looks great. And
it's incredible. You can actually see the difference. She got younger.
Yes.
Like over the course of a year, she like went back in time, like 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, it's incredible. Whatever she's doing, I want to do it. Look in the description down below to link to more information on this awesomeness, but you can also get it through bone broth and supplements. And there's lots of ways of getting more collagen into your diet. And we are super excited to be promoting it because we're feeling great. So more on that later. Also, we are super excited because our first big trip of the year together is planned. The books have tickets. The tickets are in the books. We've made tickets. It is happening. We're so excited. Lauren, would you like to reveal where our first destination for this show will be?
Our first destination for My Kind of News is going to be New York City.
New York. Yeah. We're so excited. We're going to take the show on the road, and our first stop will be New York. So stay tuned for some super fun on location action. And you never know, we'll run into who we're going to meet. Thank you guys. This has been so much fun to get to talk to you, to introduce ourselves, to mention a few of the things that we're into. And we cannot wait to highlight some of our favorite scientists, researchers, philosophers, thinkers. Whoo, clearly we are getting to the end of the show here. All right, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. Please let us know if you have any questions or people you'd like us to talk about or to. Fun things to come in the interview department. Stay tuned. And we would love to hear from you. Find us here on YouTube, where else are we?
We're on Instagram at My Kind of News.
Instagram, Facebook, My Kind of News.
YouTube, My Kind of News.
YouTube, My Kind of News. We're going to be everywhere. Keep an eye out for us. We're going to be posting articles that we find interesting, links to people that we think are amazing, that are putting out great stuff, and our fabulous new podcast. Lauren, would you play our music one more time?
I was going to suggest that as well. Here I go. It's only kind of news, but it's our kind of news, and it's My Kind of News podcast. It's My Kind of News podcast. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you guys again soon. Thank you for joining us on My Kinda News.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hat dance.